Hey everyone! Today we're going to break down a really powerful but super practical tool for looking at any business. It's called value chain analysis. Let's get right into it. So let's start with a really simple question. How on earth does a chef take, say, $5 worth of ingredients, some flour, tomatoes, cheese, and turn it into a meal you're happy to shell out $25 for? Well, it's not magic, right? It's a process of adding value, step by step by step.
And in the world of business, that big price gap is what we call the margin. It's the space between the value you create for a customer and what it actually costs you to make it. And you better believe every single business out there, from your local coffee shop to a giant like Apple, is obsessed with making that gap as wide as humanly possible.
So how is that value actually added? Think about it. The chef doesn't just hand you a bag of groceries. No, they perform a whole series of activities. They chop, they season, they cook, they plate it beautifully. And every single one of those steps makes that final dish more valuable. Well, businesses do the exact same thing. They just have a more formal name for it.
And that's what brings us to the actual blueprint for analyzing all this. It was developed by the legendary Harvard professor Michael Porter, and he called it the value chain.
And this quote from him really just hits the nail on the head. You can't figure out why a company is so successful just by looking at their final profit number. Nope. You have to pop the hood. You have to break the business down and look at all the individual activities, the real engine room where that value is actually being created. Porter split all these activities into two main buckets. First up, you've got your primary activities. Just think of these as the main assembly line, everything directly involved in making the thing and getting it to the customer. And then you've got the support activities. These are all the crucial functions happening in the background that make that whole assembly line run smoother, faster, and just plain better.
Okay, so what are these activities specifically? Porter lays out 5 primary ones and 4 support ones. So let's do a quick flyby of these 9 fundamental building blocks that you'll find in pretty much any business.
All right, first up in the primary group, inbound logistics. This is all about getting stuff into the company. So if you're a car maker, this is managing all the shipments of steel, the tires, the computer chips, and getting them from your suppliers to your factory floor efficiently. Next, you have operations. This is the making phase. It's where the real transformation happens. This is the factory assembly line, it's the chef's kitchen, it's the programmer writing code, it's where all those inputs become an actual finished product.
So once the product is actually made, outbound logistics kicks in. This covers everything that happens next, warehousing the finished goods, the entire shipping and delivery network, basically anything that gets that final product into the hands of a waiting customer.
I mean, let's be real. You can have the best product in the world, but it's totally useless if nobody knows it exists. And that's where marketing and sales come in. This is all the stuff, your advertising, your sales team, your pricing strategy, that convinces people to actually buy what you're selling.
And the story doesn't end once you've made the sale. That's where service comes in. This is all the after-sales support. Think installation, customer help hotlines, repairs, warranties. This stuff is absolutely crucial for keeping customers happy and loyal.
Okay, now let's jump over to those support activities that make everything else possible. First is procurement. This is basically the function of buying all the inputs. And we're not just talking raw materials here. We're talking about everything, from buying ads to buying new computers for the office or machinery for the factory.
Then you've got technology development. You can kind of think of this as the brains of the whole operation. It covers all the research and development, automation, and software. It's where innovation lives, finding smarter ways to do things and creating better products. Human resource management. It's all about the people. It's who you hire, how you train them, and how you keep them. The quality of your people affects every single other activity in this chain, which makes HR a massive, massive source of competitive advantage.
And finally, bringing it all together, we have firm infrastructure. Think of this as the company's central nervous system. It's your general management, your finance department, the legal team, quality control. All the systems that support the entire chain and let the business actually function.
Okay, so the theory is great and all, but let's see how this thing actually works in the wild. And for that, let's take a look at a company that is famous for doing things very, very differently. Tesla. When you look at Tesla's value chain, you see they don't just do these activities, they've built a ridiculously powerful competitive engine. I mean, just look. In operations, their super automated gigafactories are the stuff of legend. For technology development, their constant R&D in battery tech and self-driving software completely sets them apart. And then you have marketing and sales, where they just sidestep traditional car dealers entirely with their direct-to-consumer stores, giving them total control over how you experience their brand.
But here it is. This is the most important part. The real lasting advantage a company builds doesn't come from being great at just one of these things in isolation. No, it comes from the connections, what Porter called the linkages between them.
And this is where the real magic happens, you guys. It's not about optimizing one little piece. It's about linking them together. So for example, a huge investment in technology development leads to a higher quality product. That in turn makes your operations way more efficient because you have fewer defects on the line. And what's the final payoff? A more reliable product means you spend way less on costly after-sales service. It's this reinforcing chain reaction that builds an advantage that is so hard for anyone else to copy.
So why should you care about any of this? Because thinking this way helps you get incredibly specific. It lets you pinpoint exactly where your business, or any business, is truly creating value. It helps you find the activities that are just burning cash and wasting resources. And maybe most importantly, it shows you where to invest your next dollar or your next hire to get the biggest possible competitive bang for your buck. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In your company, or maybe a company you just admire, what do you think is the most overlooked link between any two of these activities? And if you could just strengthen that one connection, what hidden power, what new competitive edge do you think it could unlock?